Who will win the coveted crown overall profit leader this year at WagerTalk? Multiple handicappers are in the running, and we took the current top 3 and packaged them together through the rest of the year for one low price, saving you thousands. Our current leaders are up a combined 287 units of profit so far in 2022. Andrew McKinnis is up 154 units, Dave Koken is up 76 units, and Tokyo Brandon is up 57 units. There are over 200 days left in 2022, and a 90-day all access is priced at $7.49 per handicapper. For a limited time, we will toss in the rest of the year for free. Yep, get our current top 3 profit leaders for 259 days for the price of $90, coming out to just $2.89 per handicapper.
All right, we are finally up and running and ready to go. It was not Rob Veno's fault. We were 5 minutes late. I'm Lawrence Presman. He's Teddy Covers. You're watching Wager Talk Today. And more importantly, I got a tea time, Teddy, in an hour and a half. It is the first time I get to golf outside this year. I'm excited. What did you learn in the wonderful world of sports betting last night?
Oh, I was so pissed off last night, Prez. You didn't want any part of me last night. Of course, big ticket play last night on the Minnesota Timberwolves. They led by 20 in the first half. They led by 20 in the second half. And they
21.
absolutely, they led by 26, choked the game away. Teams that were up by 25 plus points in any game had been 388 in the last 25 postseasons. So it does happen. Not the first time a team's blown a 25-point lead, and the T-Wolves did it last night. But I was so mad at myself. I'm like, this should have been a first-half play. You should have been out of this game. It should have been a first-half play. You should have been out of this game. I should have had the Mavs in my pocket. Like, going to the playoffs. What's my number one thing? Fade Utah in every game. Did I have Dallas last night? I did not. I've been red hot, Prez. But, boy, even red hot hat cappers are human. I'm mad. I'm humble. Yeah. I'm working harder, see if we can get it back tonight. How about you, buddy? What'd you learn?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Teddy, I'm with you on that game, but, just to reiterate everything we've been saying for 2 straight weeks, I mean, there were 2 runs in that game where Minnesota was up by over 20, and it just demonstrates how to bet in-game betting in the NBA, because these runs, it's almost every night, man. A team goes, and the great thing is, one of the sports books I bet at, Teddy, cashes your ticket when you're 20 up. So anybody who bet the Minnesota Timberwolves at that sports book actually won their bet last night. But in-game betting, I mean, that's really what. Sorry, Teddy.
I said I didn't win mine. And again, you say it happens every day, sure, but at the same time, again, 388. Straight up over the last 25 postseasons.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen every day. Not of this magnitude.
Dude, you don't expect, I am not suggesting that a team up by 20 in the third quarter with 4 or 5 to go is going to lose the game. What I am suggesting is the other team might cover plus 13. And that's where the in-game bet works out. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you bet Memphis, you got about 25-1 in game last night, and great bet if you made it.
Listen, I didn't. I was playing Scrabble actually, but I did make a great in-game bet last night. Carolina Hurricanes started the game down 2-0. I bet it early in the second period at plus 205 for them to win the game, and they did win the game. Not the greatest odds, I must say. I mean, 2 periods to go, down by 2, and you're only getting 2-1 on your money. But I was watching the game, and you could just feel, when you watch sports, you could just feel the momentum change and the game shift and swing. Anyway, guys, last day of the Odd Couple infomercial. My apologies to the 6 people who were hating on Prez being a used car salesman this week. Guess what, Teddy? Just like your loss last night, we have 5,000 people watched the show and 6 didn't enjoy the infomercial. Oh, well.
Okay.
Teddy went 1-1 last night. I went 2-1 last night. If you guys have been playing the Odd Couple promotion since Monday, you're up a ton. If you're playing it since Tuesday, you're up even more. If you're playing it since Wednesday, you're up as well. So it's been an outstanding week for both you and I. Congratulations, my brother. Whether you win or lose, a 5% play does not damper this incredible week. One more day. The Odd Couple promo ends today. $59. Teddy and I for 3 days. We're going to have an on-air draw for 2 hoodies on Monday. I will work it out with that office over the weekend. Teddy, I haven't even said who's coming on. Well, we know Rob Veno's coming on. He's talking Miami, Atlanta, Boston, Brooklyn. Hakeem Profits is coming on. He's talking the Hawks game, the Grizzly game, and the Suns game. And Andy Lang is coming on, and he's got 3 prop bets all in the NBA. Let's bring Rob Veno in now. Robert, we missed you last week. Thank you for coming on today.
Can you hear me? That would be the best question.
Yeah.
All right, then we're all good. I apologize for last week, fellas. Technical difficulties on my end aren't that hard to come by. So we can get to it this week.
So last week, everyone, Rob couldn't find the on button on his microphone. So he had to skip. Joe Ranieri actually ended up zooming in and noticed it's a big button that says on that was like right here. But I'm just playing with you, Rob. Miami, Atlanta, you got a bet for us. A team total. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm just going to follow a trend in this series this year that's cashed 5 out of 6 times so far, and that's the Miami Heat over 111.5. 4 regular season games, 2 playoff games. Miami's been over this number 5 times. 113 is the lowest they've scored in any of those 5 games. 115, 115, 115, and 124 in games without Clint Capella playing for Atlanta. So it's happened 4 times. It's going to happen for the 5th time tonight. Miami seems to get even a little bit higher scoring without Capella's defense at the rim. Their field goal percentage, Miami from the floor, between 48% and 56% in every single game against the Hawks this year. So it's not flukish where, they shot over 61 game and 30 in another. They combined 51% all 6 games combined. So by now, again, 6 is a small sample size, but in a singular series, I don't think it is. I think it becomes a little bit larger, and it shows that Miami can score on these guys. They've made some threes against Atlanta too. They've shot 41% from 3, and we know Miami's got those 3-point shooters. They've made no less than 11 in any game against the Hawks this year. 18 was their high mark. So in Atlanta, the one time they didn't get there, guys, they only got to 108. And it's the only game they played against Atlanta without the duo of Kyle Lowry and Tyler Hero. Lowry and Hero have been pretty important in this series, combined for 27.5 points, 11 assists, and 22 of 26 from the free throw line. So they'll have them both tonight. I think that's enough reason. Atlanta's defense just isn't that good. They'll have to outscore Miami to win. I don't see any problem with Miami getting over this number.
Teddy covers, muted himself, everybody. Teddy, no. That's okay. Live technical difficulties, everyone. Okay, no follow-up, Rob, because I wasn't prepared to ask it, and I'm not exactly a professional or anything. I'm a narcissistic egomaniac, and I wear it well, baby! Teddy, we got you? No, Teddy. Rob, Boston, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I mean, Brooklyn's got it. Brooklyn's got to be bummed.
Yeah, but I didn't touch anything.
Oh, we got Teddy back. Teddy, you got a follow-up for Rob on that Miami? No. Teddy. No, Teddy. Rob, I've decided I'm not an egomaniac. I'm a pro. Let's get to Boston and Brooklyn. Really must-win game for Brooklyn tonight.
Okay.
What are we going to do?
You got it.
Oh, we're having technical difficulties all around. Is my mic the only mic working?
Am I good now, guys?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. Oh, okay. In this Boston-Brooklyn game, Prez, I was about to say, our colleague Ralph Michaels made it pretty simple. If you just want to hop on a gravy train, you go ahead and play the home team that's down 0-2 in the first half. Ralph posted some numbers the other day that showed that to be 16-3-1, 84% winners if you've done that. It happened the other night with Toronto, down 0-2 on their home floor, cover the first half, win by 10. The Nets actually have had the lead twice in 3 games with Boston when they've had Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving together. The third game was a tie at halftime, so they've had the lead twice. They've been tied once. All 3 of those were in Boston. Tonight we get them in Brooklyn, so I think they can be ahead at the half here. I think the biggest problem or the biggest concern would be the way the odds makers compensate for this particular 84% winning situation right now. The Nets are 3.5 favorites for the first half, and they're 3.5-point favorites for the full game. Same price, half or full game. If you look at money line, the Nets are minus $2 in the first half and only minus 165 full game. So certainly the odds makers anticipate money coming in on this trend, mechanically played. I would say this, though. If you're afraid that they've compensated so much, I would just look back to a couple of nights ago. You know what? Toronto was minus 1 in the first half, yet they were plus 2 for the game. That's a 3-point swing, stronger first half than it was full game. And Toronto won the first half, 56-46. So I don't know that the number comes into play here. I'm pretty sure that Kevin Durant will have a much better game here. He's 13 of 41. First 2 games combined in this series, 32% from the floor. Not good for KD. Only 2 of 7 from 3-point range. And that's unusual, too, because you would expect him to maybe take close to 7 per game. Never mind, just 7 for 2 games. With Kyrie the other day in game 2 when they lost by 7, those 2 guys shoot a combined 26.7%. So again, I'm looking for the stars to play better. The role players got going for Brooklyn, which is a help, right? Goran Dragic has been real good first 2 games. Seth Curry got going finally in the second game, as did Bruce Brown. I think you add all those components together, the Nets' sense of urgency should show up from the opening tip. So I can't argue anybody who plays full game minus 3.5 as well. But I'm going to stick to first half here. It's just been a money producer, so why jump off that bandwagon? Nets minus 3.5 first half.
Oh, Teddy. Nothing from Teddy. Rob, outstanding stuff, man. We love you. What do you got to promote?
Yeah, real quick, I will say this. A couple of 4% best bets. The 2 games that I talked about here, Prez, I have multiple bets on those games. 2 of those, my best bets, are up and available on each of those 2 games, WagerTalk.com. Also, real quick, want to let the guys listening to the show right here that WagerTalk does have a USFL show. For those who like spring football, join us on Thursday afternoons, 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific. Myself, Drew Martin, Adam Trigger, Tony Mejia. We all love spring football. We're all covering the league. We're all releasing plays. So again, if you want to dip into the USFL, check out the show on Thursday afternoons. And you can always join me on Wager Talk's NBA tip-off show. So hopefully we have a good weekend here. Prez, thanks for having me on. I'm glad I was, my voice could be heard this week.
Well, yours could. Teddy's couldn't. As somebody said in the chat room, Dave Koken's playing a joke on us. Rob Veno, everyone. Follow him at Rob Veno Sports on Twitter. Friend of the show, exclusive handicapper at WagerTalk.com, and one of the best guys ever. Jeffrey Moore asks, Prez, serious question. I can't make it to the WSOP this year. Anyway, can I buy some of your action or a package where Wager Talk guys can buy some action? Jeffrey, I respect that you want my action. I would want it too. I'm just too financially stable in life to really want to wear the pressure of having someone else buy into me at any poker event. So the answer is no, I apologize. I don't sell my action. But maybe Teddy does. Teddy, we got a gentleman, Jeffrey Moore, one of our most awesomest listeners. He wants to buy action at WSOP. I don't sell action. How about you?
I'm not playing the WSOP as of this time, so I don't know. I have no plans to play. If I do play and it wants to, sure, I'll sell all of me. I'm not.
I know.
Exactly. You buy all you want. I'm happy to do it.
I set you up there.
Yeah, it's certainly not what it was 20 years ago, 15 years ago. I don't play. But I would be the senior event's a different story. Senior event, you can walk in and have a chance. So
yeah,
maybe
and you know, Teddy, it's one of those situations where I just don't need the money for someone to buy into me, and I don't want to send that text out. But there were 7,000 people in it, Jeff. I'm sorry I came 2,100th. There were 7,000. He hit an ace on the river. I don't want to send that text. I don't want. It's enough in my life that I sell picks for a living and have to go through wearing losers and winners every single night. I need poker to have some kind of purity for me. Teddy covers. Lawrence Presman, you're watching Wager Talk Today. We're going to take a quick break. We got Skee Profits coming on. We got Andy Lang, Teddy's Big Game Breakdown, Daily Presidential Address. I swept the board yesterday. We'll be right back, everyone.
Who will win the coveted crown overall profit leader this year at WagerTalk? Multiple handicappers are in the running, and we took the current top three and packaged them together through the rest of the year for one low price, saving you thousands. Our current leaders are up a combined 287 units of profit so far in 2022. Andrew McKinnis is up 154 units, Dave Koken is up 76 units, and Tokyo Brandon is up 57 units. There are over 200 days left in 2022, and a 90-day all access is priced at $7.49 per handicapper. For a limited time, we will toss in the rest of the year for free. Yep, get our current top three profit leaders for 259 days for the price of $90, coming out to just $2.89 per handicapper.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. And on a basketball central Wager Talk today, we got to bring a little MLB into play. So let's talk Dodgers and Padres marquee matchup tonight in Major League Baseball. There's been a fair bit of San Diego money this morning. Dodgers were minus 170 last night. I'm seeing minus 155 as the prevailing line right now, as low as minus 150 even in some spots. Total 8 to the over, minus 115 to the over right now. This was a series last year, kind of a bizarre series. The Padres won 7 of the first 10, and then the Dodgers won the last 9 meetings between them, 9-0 to close out the season as San Diego was falling apart down the stretch. The Dodgers absolutely dominated them, part of that late season collapse. So there's certainly some urgency here for San Diego after losing the last 9 against the Padres. They played decent baseball coming out of the gate. But I'm more interested here in these. I'm interested in these two starting pitchers, and I have no hesitation betting against these two lineups at Petco in the difficult to hit environs of San Diego. You know, Julio Reyes has been a monster. The guy went 20-3 last year with an ERA under 3, 195 strikeouts. He's been a monster against San Diego. And after a poor first start of the season, his velocity was down. The markets were all afraid of him. He came back last time and dominated Cincinnati. I think they'll have success at least a time or two through the Padres order. On the other side of the equation, look, we know the Dodgers can hit. We know they can hit in bunches, but the Dodgers tend to cluster their runs together. They're not a scratch out a run in the first, scratch out a run in the second type of team. They put a lot of big innings together. I don't know if they're going to get that this evening against Nick Martinez, who, you know, after 4 years in Japan, he did give up 3 dingers last time out against the Braves. Made some adjustments. You expect to be better. Bob Melvin talking really talking up this guy. First 5 total sitting at 4, juice to the over. You can get a plus price on first 5 under 4. I think that's worth a look in San Diego tonight. I'm expecting the pitchers to dominate at least a couple of times through the lineup, and I'm not expecting these 2 batting orders to go off early. So first 5 under, Dodgers and Padres, under 4 with a plus price. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Skee Profits, I love the color of your sweatshirt, brother. Everybody knows I'm all about the orange. My favorite college football team is Clemson, simply because of the color of their uniforms. How are you, my bro?
I'm doing well. I had a good day yesterday in association. I went 5-2, so that's always good. And I started playing some baseball. Yesterday in baseball, I did, have a 1-1-1 day, but overall to start the year 7-4. So things are going well right now. Looking to try and come make some money with you guys here.
Jesus, the matching is incredible when you're on the screen alone. Well, the orange is exactly the same as your shirt. Stuff Teddy doesn't notice. Skee, Miami playing the Hawks tonight. Man, Atlanta, well, it serves them right for not caring all season long. Trae Young, his body language bothers me. Not that any of that matters, because if I want to bet Atlanta, I will. Where are you going in this game?
Well, I like a couple of different things in this game. I heard Rob talking about the team total for Miami, and he said for Atlanta to win this game, they got to outscore Miami. I would agree with that. I'm not a big believer in Atlanta's defense. And so far this series, the last game they lost by 10. But so far this series, the Hawks haven't shot over 30% from 3. I think they're going to shoot it better. They're going to play up tempo. In my mind, I've heard Nate McMillan say multiple times throughout the playoffs last year, they play better when they play faster. And you don't want to play against that set Miami defense. So I think we get over the full game total of 221. But I like the Hawks here. And I'll tell you a couple reasons why I like them. I like them early. I like them often. We also had Rob mention, our good friend Ralph Michaels' trend that he brought up. The home teams down 0-2 in the playoffs, they're bet on in the first half, 75% winners against the spread since 2015. And the Hawks in general at home all year long, 66.7% winners. But if you just look at, the second half of the season since January 16th, they're 20-3 straight up at home. It's the same story as last year. They dominated at the house. They weren't motivated to play earlier in the year. They said they want to be in the playoffs. They're playing like it down the stretch. So I got faith in them at the house. They're also 17-6. And just looking at what was wrong in these past games, a couple of things, I think. One, they just played a couple of tough, elimination games. And I think that was wearing on them a little bit. And two, they've been uncharacteristically turning the ball over. I think they've had 18.5 or average 18.5 turnovers these first 2 games. And they're number 1 in turnover percentage this season at 12%. So I think, they'll tighten up with that. And they were in this game. I feel like, I know they weren't winning at halftime, but I feel like they were, controlling most of this game to start. And I feel like they could have won. I don't think they were getting any whistles. And in Atlanta, I think it'll be a different story. So I like the over. I like the Hawks first half, and I like the Hawks full game.
We're talking with the Skee Profit here on WagerTalk Today. And Skee, let's go to tomorrow's action, where the Memphis Grizzlies are going to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves after an epic comeback, an epic collapse, whichever way you want to look at it. But the betting markets are saying Minnesota's going to have a hangover. Looking at the numbers, Memphis -3 at the Target Center. Total sitting at 232.5. What are we going to do with the Grizzlies and the Timberwolves on Saturday? Does Minnesota bounce back, or do we stick a fork in the T-Wolves? Are they done?
I've been talking about this series a lot. I'm pretty heavily involved as far as series prices and all kind of things with this. And I'm going to stick to what I've been saying. And I'll talk about numbers, but I also talk about what I saw. So the Wolves blew 2 20-point leads, maybe even 25-point leads in that game. Like, you hardly see a team come back one time, but to come back twice from down 20, like they cut it from 25 or something down to 7, then they got back down by 20 and came back again. Like, that's impressive. That's showing me that the Grizzlies are back to that form that we've seen all year long. And just listening to some of these Minnesota coaches and players, like the coach, he seems like, he doesn't even know what to do. Grizzlies going a 21-0 run. He didn't even call a timeout. Like, what are you even there for, bro? Going up against Taylor Jenkins, who I feel like made a lot of good adjustments so far this series. He stopped playing Steven Adams. And, if it's a chess match between both coaches, give me the Grizzlies coach. Listening to Karl Anthony Towns talk, I don't know if you heard, Teddy. I know you big on quotes, but he sounds pathetic. I always come and tell you guys Karl Anthony Towns is soft. He has no heart. And, I mean, he's showing it on the court. He's telling you in the interviews. And when people show you and tell you who they are, you got to believe them. He's telling you, they're asking him about his poor performance. He's like, next question. Like, he's proved himself in this league and done something. Like, that's a red flag. They're asking him, how he can pick the team up. He's saying, I'll just go home and drink some wine, go be with my support system, everybody who's got him here. It sounds like the series is already over. They've only lost a couple games, but it sounds like, they're ready for Cancun. So, and you hear John Morant talk, it's a whole different story. He's like, yeah, I'm ready. I want all the smoke. I'm going to be disrespectful. I'm going to do this and do that. That's the guy I want my money on. I don't want my money on a guy like Karl Anthony Towns. Now, as far as numbers go, that situation that I talked about with teams blowing these big leads, it's just demoralizing. So I'll mention it a couple different ways. Playoff underdogs off a loss in which they led by double digits. This is as far back as the database goes. They win 29.6% of the time. They cover 42.7% of the time. And if you look at those teams when their biggest lead was 20 or more, they're 0-5 straight up, 1-4 against the spread. They lose by an average of 16.8 points per game. Those teams have given up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing. The Wolves, first competition all year long, they're 10-18. They don't even have a winning record. They're 35.7% winners first competition. When the Wolves lose, it's by margin. They've only covered 5 games that they've lost so far all year. Excuse me, sorry. And the Grizzlies, when they win, it's by margin. They win by an average of 15.3 points per game. They're the opposite. 58 wins, they have 52 covers. So I like the Grizzlies pretty heavily in this game. I think, 1-2-3 Cancun for Minnesota already.
Let's go back to tonight and talk about the late game for this evening. No Devin Booker for Phoenix. And the markets, or at least the bookmakers, made a huge adjustment in the Suns' power rating, and the betting markets have said that's too big of an adjustment. This was pick 'em. I even saw New Orleans won at DraftKings at the opener. Now, nothing but Suns money, -2 for Phoenix today, even a couple of 2.5 starting to pop up. Total 216. Can the Pelicans beat the Suns twice in a row, or Phoenix off a loss? The bet on situation. What do we do with this game tonight?
Oh,
we lost them.
Well, not our finest technical show of all time. That is for sure. Anyway, Teddy, let's just bring in Andy Lang. Andy.
No, Andy. Andy's not there.
Okay, take your time, man. Teddy, what are you playing tonight?
I have one in the NBA and one in MLB. But, Prez, this is the thing to note, all right? You got a tea time, right? Today's a hard out day. Mondays, I do opening line report. Tuesdays, I do J Money. Those are hard out days for me where you got to be done so you can go to your next show or go to your next thing. And it's inevitable. Whenever there's going to be technical difficulties, it's only on the hard out days.
It's okay, dude. I mean, we do the show every day. We have a lot of people who enjoy what we do. It's all good, man. We're going to have good days. We're going to have bad days. And even our technical people, no names, Dan, will have bad days as well. So that's Daniel at WagerTalk.com. If anybody would like to complain about the technical issues in today's show, that's Daniel at WagerTalk.com. Do we have an Andy Lang sighting? Okay. I can. Okay, Andy, come on in, baby. Formula One this weekend. Any bets?
Of course, we got bets in Formula One. They're actually doing qualifying right now, and it's a rained out mess. They're qualifying right now, but this is qualifying for the short sprint race tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the sprint race will determine the lineup for the race. So if you guys are betting on Formula One, make sure you understand how this weekend works. The qualifying is today, short sprint race tomorrow, and then the race is on Sunday. But the rain is making it very interesting. As of now, we got 3 minutes left in Q3. Prez, you got Verstappen, Leclerc, Lando Norris is third in qualifying.
Finally.
Yeah,
well, he did good last year.
He did good last year. He did look good last week. His teammate Ricardo is sixth, so the McLarens are looking good. A lot of spinoffs and everything, but it should be chaotic, which makes for great racing. It makes for great racing and really good viewing. So should be an exciting. But yeah, NASCAR and Formula One pack is up right now, and yes, we absolutely have Formula One bets. My best bet in Formula One's up right now, actually.
Andy Lang, everybody, and Andy, Vivian, my woman, turns to me last night, and she's like, hey, did you see Lewis Hamilton and Serena are putting a bid in to buy Chelsea FC? They've guaranteed 10 million pounds each. I'm like, what are they buying? A pack of popcorn? Like,
yeah, it's like Magic Johnson owning the Dodgers.
Yeah. 10 million pounds each is going to buy you what? 1%? What? No way it's more than 1% of the team. Anyway, I'm in. Serena and Lewis, call me. I'm in. I'll put my 10 million pounds down as well right after I loan it from Teddy. Andy, prop bets, brother. Sorry we're up against it today. We had technical issues. That was the reason. It's Daniel at WagerTalk.com if you would like to complain. 3 prop bets. You want to go one at a time or all 3? Mike's yours, brother.
Okay, we'll go all 3. The last one's really quick. We do have a 5% prop. The best bet of the day is up at WagerTalk.com. We're 7-2 in our last 9 5% NBA bets. So we're feeling great about our 5% NBA plays, especially in the playoffs. So let's do some NBA playoff bets. I'm going to start with Jonas Valanciunas going over 12.5 rebounds. He had 25 rebounds in game 1, and then he had 13 rebounds in game 2. But what's crazy about game 2 is, for whatever reason, he did not have a rebound in the fourth quarter and in the last 7 minutes and 8 seconds of the third quarter. So the ball miraculously never landed in his hands for a rebound in the last quarter and a half. But the Pelicans have 98 rebounds this series. He has 38 of them. That's 39% of the rebounds for his team, and the books haven't quite adjusted. I feel like we got lucky because we cashed the 12.5 rebounds last game, and because he only had 13, they're going to leave it at 12.5. I think he flies over this again. He's their top rebounder by far, so look at Valanciunas over 12.5 rebounds. Next one is Joel Embiid. We're going under 48.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I'll just start with this. He's had 38, 42, and 48 PRA in 3 games. And the 48, he needed overtime. But this is a bigger topic that I've scouted out. Centers and their unders in the points, rebounds, and assists category. So if you take Rudy Gobert, Dwight Powell, Steven Adams, Karl Anthony Towns, Embiid, Jokic, Adebayo, Horford, Drummond, Valanciunas, Vucevic, and Ayton, combined, those guys are 20-7 to the under on their PRA. So if you would have just played these guys at center under their points, rebounds, and assists, you would be very, very profitable. And Embiid is 3-0 to the under. We see in the playoffs, they boost these centers totals way too high. It's too much for them to get there. So look at Embiid under 48.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And finally, just a quick one, Alex Caruso over 1.5 steals. He's had 2 in each game against Milwaukee. Now they don't have Middleton, who is one of their primary ball handlers outside of Holiday. You could see some more errant passes. He's so active on defense. He's so good. He's gone over in both games. So look at Caruso over 1.5 steals. 5% is up at WagerTalk.com. So Prez, the tea time is yours.
So I want to talk about that Valanciunas prop.
Sure.
Over 12.5 rebounds. Because he got the 13 last time out. But now with Devin Booker out, does this become a DeAndre Ayton game? Is this a situation where We worry about Valanciunas because the opponent that he's playing against is going to be particularly motivated. I mean, Ayton has 9 rebounds in each of the first 2 games, so it's not like he's dominated the glass in the way that Valanciunas has. But is this the game that you worry about him stepping up without Devin Booker in the line?
It absolutely could happen. This is kind of a roll of the dice because I think you could look at Phoenix a couple different ways. I kind of look at him like I would look for Mikal Bridges to increase his production. Chris Paul could certainly go down the DeAndre Ayton route, but you also have Cam Johnson who's coming in for Booker. And also, without Booker, maybe you have a few more missed shots from Phoenix. You know, Booker's such an efficient elite scorer. Maybe you have a couple more bounce off the rim that if Booker were shooting them would go in. Maybe he gets a couple over. It's very much an opinion, type of thing because you need to see a game or two without Booker. But I'm willing to roll the dice that Valanciunas goes over here. And I think the production goes to Bridges and Johnson as opposed to Ayton.
Andy Lang, everyone. Andy, we're not done with you yet, brother. A couple of things. Again, Jeffrey Moore, we spoke about him at the top of the show. He wants to know about darts.
We haven't had darts plays up. I don't believe they've had any events, but as soon as they do, they will be up. And those are always on Thursdays. So darts Thursdays. As soon as we get the darts events.
Sleep? Like, seriously, what? So you handicap darts, lawn bowls, billiards, golf, every prop of every sport in the world, soccer, hockey.
I have people that work with me. Corbin is my buddy. He lives over in the UK and he does all of our tennis. He does all of our darts. He does all of his soccer. I believe he's on a 13-2 soccer run. So it's about bringing people in that want to work together, and we all build as one.
Team Lang. Listen, I love the team concept. I've been doing it since day one, so I'm totally with you on that. I mean, there's absolutely if you got respect for somebody's plays and they're your good pal and you hang out all the time, totally cool with that. And you don't do lawn bowls. I don't. But my buddy Steve is a master in MLB. He works with me on NBA props every day. So we work hard, and the results have been there. Yeah, outstanding stuff, Andy. I mean, we're so honored to have you as part of Wager Talk. So listen, I watched you on a show last night. You had a comma problem. So
I did?
As one host to another, you had a comma issue. So Andy is doing a show with Ariel Epstein. It's incredible. And you introduced her by saying the great or the best ever Ariel Epstein. You need a comma after ever because she's the only Ariel Epstein. Anyway, tell us quickly about that show.
Yeah, it's called Prop Shop. We're aiming to do it every Thursday. Yesterday was our very first show, and this is how good she is. So we started at 1:00. She gave out 2K props that's for games that started at 1:10, and she hit both of them. So we did the pilot yesterday. Within 10 minutes, we had 2 winners that we've given out. So we look for it about 1:00 on Thursdays. The prop queen over at Yahoo Sports combines with the prop master at Wager Talk. It was so much fun talking with her and just free flowing about props. We went over NBA. We went over MLB. I cannot be more excited to work with her. That's every Thursday, 1:00 on Wager Talk YouTube.
And Andy, the show was really good. You guys had wonderful chemistry. You're both very smiley people, so there's a lot of warmth emanating from the screen, unlike Wager Talk Today, where it's just one cold, miserable man and me. It really is great stuff. And Teddy, I mean, come on, look at what we're doing, man. Ariel Epstein, part of the team. We're Jay Money. I mean, it's amazing work. Andy Lang, everybody. Andy, get out of here, bro. Thanks for everything. Good luck on your 5% play. Teddy covers. I'm going to do a real quick daily presidential address, and you, my brother, are going to then take us home. Okay, everybody, real quick. Odd couple promotion ends today. $59 for both Teddy and me. 3 days, all access. That's buy one, get one free. If you already have purchased that odd couple promotion at $59, you can purchase it again, and it will automatically add on to your current package. If you've purchased it twice, you can still purchase it again. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Just stack them up, guys. Anyway, swept the board in the daily presidential address yesterday. I only have one play for you guys today, but I will tell you this. It is a strong play. Minnesota Wild -1.5 against Seattle. Minnesota, this team is a scoring machine. They're going to put up 5 tonight. I cannot believe that Seattle will put up 4. This has got 5-2 written all over it. Frankly, I would maybe look to see what the odds are for 5-1 or 5-2 is and bet that as well. Teddy, it was a privilege doing this show with you this week. I love you, brother, even though people think we annoy the shit out of each other. Take us home, dude.
Oh, you annoy the shit out of me. That's fine. But that's going to wrap it for the week here at WagerTalk Today. Of course, I want to thank Andy Lang. I want to thank Rob Veno and Skee Profit for joining us. I want to thank you guys for bearing with us today. We had technical difficulties. We appreciate it very much. We'll be back again on Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon for you back east. Between now and then, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the games, and good luck.
Who will win the coveted crown overall profit leader this year at WagerTalk? Multiple handicappers are in the running, and we took the current top 3 and packaged them together through the rest of the year for one low price, saving you thousands. Our current leaders are up a combined 287 units of profit so far in 2022. Andrew McKinnis is up 154 units, Dave Koken is up 76 units, and Tokyo Brandon is up 57 units. There are over 200 days left in 2022, and a 90-day all access is priced at $7.49 per handicapper. For a limited time, we will toss in the rest of the year for free. Yep, get our current top 3 profit leaders for 259 days for the price of $90, coming out to just $2.89 per handicapper.